Hello, good evening. You're here for another episode of My Favorite Book. I'm Monica, I work at Brooklyn, and I'll be your host tonight. It is a very hot and sweaty evening in Brooklyn right now, and we have an ambient festival going on outside, so I hope you enjoy that while we talk to Adriana Monsalve from Homie House Press. But first, before we get started, I want to acknowledge that the land from which we're broadcasting is part of the traditional territory of the Lenni Lenape people. Please join us in acknowledging the Lenape community, their elders both past and present, as well as future generations. Brooklyn Inc. is a nonprofit organization located in Brooklyn, New York. We're celebrating 22 years of promoting artists' books as both art, primary research materials, and tools for social justice. We distribute artwork by artists and organizations within the academic market. We host workshops and exhibitions, and we publish books and archival box sets. Tonight, we're really excited to present to you the sixth episode of our first serialized online program, My Favorite Book. This is a program where we ask 18 different artists to quickly tell us about their favorite book that they've ever made or published. Every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday throughout the month of June, we'll have a new episode for you from 7 to 7:30 p.m. Check out our website for a full schedule, and you can drop in any night on YouTube Live right here. For more information about us, I'm just going to flash our details. You can find us at Brooklyn Art on Instagram or any social media platform. Brooklyn.org is our website. And Linktree/Brooklyn, you can find all of that and more. I also want to thank the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs for supporting My Favorite Book. Okay, tonight we are delighted to introduce Adriana Monsalve, who I believe she can tell us, but is the co-founder or founder of Homie House Press. They're going to present their book, Sammys, and after I read a brief bio, I'll hand it over to Adriana. She'll talk for 15 minutes, and then we'll do a brief Q&A. So while Adriana is talking, put any questions or comments you want for Adriana in the chat on YouTube, and then we'll get to them after she's finished. Okay, Homie House Press is a skeleton bones crew of femmes creating and publishing in the photo book medium. We are photographers and bookmakers and educators holding space for and with underrepresented communities. We are a playground where photos become books, a safe space for secret stories, and an open house for honest content. Find us migrating through the in-betweenness of all that we are, and otro lado del charco. I am pleased to bring on Adriana. Welcome.
Thank you. That was you did really well with the Spanish.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful bio that you gave me, and I wanted to do it justice.
Thank you, Monica. No, you did great. That was awesome. Hello, everyone. I'm so glad to be with y'all today, and I'm so glad that Brooklyn has given me the honor of inviting me and bringing me into this space to talk about some of our favorite books that we've made in Homie House Press. I'm going to start with an introduction. My name's Adriana Monsalve. I go by she, hers pronouns. And yeah, I am a co-founder of Homie House Press. This is a space that I run with my partner, Kate. I'm currently based right now in Yucaipa, California. So in Southern Cali, like an hour outside of LA. Kate is based in Milano in Italy. So we're very like transnational, and yeah, very much we've always been working through digital spaces. Like we rarely get to be together physically. So all this stuff through the pandemic was very much natural for us to work in this way. Yeah, there was many stretches in other ways, but that wasn't one of them for us. Yeah, HHP Homie House Press. It was started 4 years ago. Yeah, about 4 years ago. I'm initially from like the DC area, so East Coast. Yeah, in like the DMV area. But I recently moved here to Southern Cali, LA area about 6 months ago during the pandemic and during all of this. So yeah, this is that's me. That's what that's a little bit about me and a little bit about what Homie House yeah, who runs it and when the space was started. And yeah, the book format definitely wasn't something that I naturally like thought about. It's something that I, through so many trials and errors, through so many through so much failure, so many different things, I ended up really like falling in love with the book format and it being the most embracing space within the art culture that really allowed me to grow and flourish in so many fun ways. Both me and Kate are like more traditionally trained photojournalists. We both went to grad school for photojournalism. And when we graduated in 2014, we were both like just super disheartened with like the photojournalism world, photo world at large, and just like how photojournalism like just how it's all just a lie, and how we were being asked to do something where we felt that like our identities as queer Latinx femmes was just like, we can't tell these stories in the ways that you want us to, and we can't like water ourselves down. Anything you ask us to go make for a newspaper or a story, like these things connect to us as immigrant adjacent people, all these different things, and it just wasn't the space for us. Quickly we realized, and so after about, I think, a year and a half or so after grad school, we just were like, we have so many projects that we want to like show. There's so many things that we want to show in a bigger scale, but because like of the way that photojournalism traditionally is seen and observed and like taken in, it just like, this isn't the space for it. How do we do this? And we were like, what if we make books? What does that mean for us? Who among us can make books? Like we were like, because both me and Kate are like photographers. We were like, how do we even make a book? Like, what does that even mean? So we kind of had like 6 months of like a crash course between the two of us of just like teaching each other things, and YouTube was our like main teacher for like, how do we use InDesign? How do you like print books? Like, what does that look like? Like, how do you outsource these things? Like, also like the work we do uses a lot of text. It uses a lot of text, so it's not traditional photography in the sense where it's not like typical reportage photography in the sense that we're really inviting text into the space, and we're really allowing people to share the stories in multiple levels, not just through the photo. So yeah, we like, it was like a space of like, okay, we're gonna teach ourselves InDesign, we're gonna teach ourselves all this stuff having to do with publishing, and we're gonna become stronger writers. And it was like 6 months of like us like just like kind of trusting each other and risking a lot. And yeah, we made our first book like after, and our logo was so awful. Yeah, our logo was really awful. And then, but we still put out our first book. It was called I Used to Live Here. You can find it on the website. You can definitely find it. I'm not gonna talk about that one today. But yeah, it's a project called I Used to Live Here, and is a personal project of mine, and it still brings me a lot of joy, but it has so many like errors and things that just we didn't know, but it's part of our journey, and I love it a lot. But yeah, so that's kind of how I started working in the book format, and that was 4 years ago. Yeah, that was 2017. And now like yeah, now this has grown to be a space where, yeah, we were publishing our own things, and it was very much self-publishing, but then it grew into like, yeah, we're bringing in other people and we're having so much fun with it. And about 2 years ago, like late 2018, no, like 3 years ago, 2018, late 2018, we published Sammys, which Sammys was a project that me and Kate did together, that it was like authored by both of us. Yeah, we publish everything together, but we don't always author everything together. And so Sammys is the first project that we've like authored together, where we wanted to explore, we're looking at food culture, and specifically sandwiches, Sammys. And so yeah, it has this like very embossed, like it goes in, I don't know what that's called, it doesn't go out, it goes in, you can feel it. And it has the exposed Smith binding, and and just that gel glue that's really fun to touch. Also, we wanted to do it in this way because we were like, it can kind of look like a sandwich in the sense that it has like the two the two pieces of bread and the stuff inside. Like we wanted, this is the first time we had ever worked in like doing like a hardback book. This is our first hardback book, and our only, honestly. And basically, the project was basically about both me and Kate, how we felt like, yeah, it's a really tumultuous time. It was 2 years into 45's presidency, and or maybe no, it was 1 year, I guess, at that point into 45's presidency, and we felt like everything was so tumultuous. We were so divided by so many things. We just kept seeing like there needs to be more bridge work. There needs to be like more space where we can talk about like in between things where things aren't. Yeah, it just felt like really, really tumultuous spaces. So we were thinking about how sandwiches is something that every culture has, and maybe they call it different things in different countries, but sandwiches are something that you can find pretty much anywhere you go. As from little kids making sandwiches to adults making sandwiches, like it's the first thing you learn how to make. It's something easy. And we felt like, yeah, we're divided by so many things, but we have a lot of things in common in between two slices of bread. So that's where the idea came from. And we ended up talking to like 30 different people, like from literally all over the world, that we felt we could bring together to kind of do a broad narrative of completely different identities, completely different backgrounds, completely different experiences, and talk about their favorite sandwich. So we're today, we're in this like program, we're all talking about our favorite book or a favorite book. We asked everyone to talk about their favorite Sammy. And we would interview them about their favorite Sammy, get all the ingredients, ask for their bio so people could see a little bit like these people are not the same. Like we have completely different backgrounds, completely different interests, completely different ideas. We come from such different places in the world. Also ages, we have little kids to old kids. We have all the things. And then we would make the Sammy. Me and Kate would. We did these interviews over about a year of time. I think it was about a year of time. And then Kate came to DC when I was still in DC at the time. She came to DC it was like she was with me for like 2 months that time. And one of the days we made all the Sammys. So we made 30 Sammys in one day and we photographed them all. And it was so much fun. And between the two of us and my dog, like we ate 30 Sammys that day. And so that's what this project consists of. So right here is the intro, a project that comes together at the intersection of food and identity. And basically here is just like listing everybody's name and the name of their Sammy. Here we give a little bit like an intro. It's a background of me and Kate talking about like why food and identity is so important and why the intersection is so tender and why we feel like it's a really soft place to start when we're talking about complicated things like identity, complicated things like politics. So the first one here is Dan Pashman. So we were able to get people that we felt like some of these people are friends, some of these people are random people that we were like, we just had a connection on the street and we just asked them. Some of them are like food writers, food scholars. So I don't know if y'all know Dan Pashman. He has a podcast called The Sporkful, and he's fantastic. And he's just like, the way he thinks about food is so awesome. And he was gracious enough to speak with us and talk to us about his favorite Sammy. And his favorite Sammy is peanut butter and jelly, which we loved so much because as someone that is such a scholar in the food world, his favorite thing is the most simple thing. And we just found it to be the cutest, most tender thing. And as you can see, like when we photograph it, we deconstruct it. Like we put it so that then the idea kind of comes back to identity in the sense that when you're deconstructing these Sammys, when you look at all of us and you deconstruct like all the different parts of us, yeah, like we have a lot in common. Like these identities can have so many different intersections when you really look a little more deeper and take some time to just connect. The next one here is Noura Tafech, who is a Palestinian Italian artist. That she does amazing things with balloons, and her Sammy is chicken and mushroom, and so we had so much fun shooting this. So we try to do like the foil background. Sorry, okay, there we go. The foil background as well as like a pink saran wrap type of thing, and we try to go back and forth. And so yeah, this is one of the pink saran wrap ones. Let's see, I'm skipping around, gonna give you guys a couple different ones. Oh my gosh, this was so funny. We talked to a guy in Maryland that he titles himself the Sandwich King. His name is Pete Garza, and it's just his whole story of why he's a Sandwich King. And you guys got to read the book. Just go buy it at home. You can go buy it from the website, but he's so cute, and his whole thing about like why he's a Sandwich King. So of course we had to interview him, and his was it was the what is this one called actually? Oh, it's a steak and cheese. It's steak and cheese. Yeah. So let me see what's another really good one. Oh, this one was cool. This one is a really messy one. So Roger Hummel, he is like a broadcaster for CNN, or he was a broadcaster. He's retired now. And his sandwich was really messy and just had so much meats, and we just loved photographing it and loved how messy it was. And yeah, the messier the sandwich, the funner to shoot, right? So really cool. Let me find another really messy one. Oh, we love this one. Okay, Margarita is actually Kate, my partner, Kate's sister. So it's actually Kate's big sister, and we asked her. She's a travel photographer, travel writer, and we asked her to talk about her favorite sandwich, which is a chicken and avocado wrap. So she went the wrap route, which we can totally include in the Sammy world. And this was so fun to make, and also one of the yummiest sandwiches we made that day. Oh, this is a really good one. So Erica Hart, probably many of you have heard of her and know who she is, or I'm sorry, who they are. Erica Hart is a sex educator, and she teaches at different universities in New York, and she's just really great, and a cancer survivor. And the work that they do is so fundamental to so many humans. And so we were really excited that they wanted to be a part of it. And their favorite sandwich is the panino caprese. So something really simple. Yeah, Erica Hart is totally like a superstar to us. So the fact that they wanted to be involved with it, we were so happy. And we love it when it's like these simple sandwiches, something that is like, no, so sweet. Another one that was really cool. Oh, we had some like, very health conscious ones. I don't know if y'all know Michaela Angela Davis. She's a stylist and producer and writer in New York, in Brooklyn. She's great. She's fantastic. And her Sammy was a lettuce wrap. So this is what hers looked like. There's one I want to show you that's so messy. One second. Oh, I can't find it, but this one is one of my favorites too. Nathaniel Thomas is my friend. He's 12 years old. He's a little boy, or he's not that little anymore, I guess. Yeah, he was, I think 10. Yeah, 10 when we did this. Now he's like 12, 13. But yeah, and so he's the youngest person in the book, and he was telling us his favorite sandwich to make, and we were thinking it was going to be simple since it's a little boy, but his sandwich was like a tuna sandwich, and then he says he makes it by himself. We asked his mom, she confirmed it, and he adds the sazon, which we love to see that. So cute. Yeah, amazing. So cute. So I'm skipping around, but the last one is Ebony Donnelly, who is the partner of Erica Hart, so also in New York, and he is basically talking about the simplest form of Sammy as well, and he does a lot of like sound producing, and really cool guy, and basically we started and ended the book with peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. So his was a little different than Dan Pashman's. His was more like the basic wheat bread and the crunchy peanut butter and banana added. and strawberry jelly instead of like the raspberry jelly. Or no, wait, it wasn't raspberry. I think it was blueberry jelly. But yeah, so really cool. Yeah, so this project ended up being like this very playful cookbook, but at the same time, there's a lot of like sentiments and meaning involved in it. There's like a lot of things in it that you can pull from it just by thinking like, oh, this is a really cute cookbook. Like, and it's just, there's so many levels to it. I'm gonna show you guys one more. This is the excessive rap by Miss Guetta. I don't know if anyone knows who Miss Guetta is. Miss Guetta is a rapper. This is how she identifies, a Euro trash rapper based out of Milano, Italy, and we're obsessed. We love Miss Guetta. She's an anonymous artist as well. Like she always wears something over her face. You can never see who exactly is Miss Guetta. And she was really sweet to want to be a part of this book, which we were so hyped that she wanted to. And the excessive rap is just like she talks about it. It's very excessive. She said copious amounts of everything. And we love how it looks. So cool. So yeah, there's a lot of different identities in this book. There's a lot of different things that are coming together in this project. And yeah, it just ended up being something that we thought we were going to do like in a basic way, like that we thought like, oh, this is a really like childlike project, like very silly, like very cute, but it actually has a lot more meaning than we thought it would. We were really amazed by when it all came together, when we designed everything and we did all that. We were just like, when we read it as a full thing, we were like, whoa, this is actually like important. Like there's something in here that like that kind of is a lot bigger than us and our love of sandwiches. Oh wait, I'm gonna share one more just because I just flipped to it and this is such a good one, especially after Miss Guetta. Okay, this one is Alessandra, who is a nun, and she is a nun in Rome, I think. Yeah, in Rome. And we interviewed her about it, and her interview is so cute. You guys have to read the book. And her favorite sandwich, which I love this answer, is Nutella and bread. Like there's just something so tender about that being the nun's favorite thing. The indulgence of like chocolate and all these things having to do with like when you think of nuns and religion and all these things. Yeah, this is amazing. So yeah, yeah. So that's that was the motivation behind it. That's where it comes from. That's kind of what it grew into. And in the back page is a recipe for how to make a homey house press. Actually, I'm happy to read that to y'all. It'll take 1 second. So first is the ingredients, and then is like how to do it. So I'll read it to you. So ingredients: resolution, anti-nationalism, Nepantla, intersectional feminism, the personal, political, poetic, courageous space, healing, sisterhood allies, collabs, and love. And then how to make it. Grab some resolution wherever you can find it and let it simmer for a while until it becomes anti-nationalism. Then lean into your Nepantla with all the allegiance of 1,000 abuelas. Mix hard and good to intersect your feminism on all the levels with those on whose shoulders we stand. Saute the personal, roast the political, and smoke the poetic. This concoction will be the crowning salve to be applied thick. Turn heat to high and let in some feelings, sprinkle some healing on top, and don't be afraid to let it boil. It might spill over, but that is the purpose, to hold all these things in hella courageous space. Let it sit for a minute, share it with the sisterhood and allies, and trust in faith that the collab culminates in love. That's Sammys, y'all.
I am literally just like tears.
Oh my gosh, so sweet.
I am so moved by everything you said, Adriana. Oh my goodness. I just want to, thank you so much. Those are such beautiful photographs, such a intimate, loving, inviting space that you've created with that book. I just wanted to say that I appreciate also that you found an embracing space in the format of books, and that's what you continue to be making.
Oh, so sweet.
It's a very beautiful thing, and I'm so glad to be speaking with you. So I have one question and one comment. The comment says, "Yay, I love the recipe," and I agree. The last one that you just read.
The nun. Oh.
And then the question is, what was your favorite Sammy?
My favorite Sammy of all the ones that were in here, or my favorite Sammy of life?
I bet it's an open question. Maybe like favorite of the book and favorite of life.
Okay, my favorite Sammy that I ate in here, that like I said, we ate 30 in a day, is Kate's sister, the margarita rag, the chicken wrap, because the instructions for the chicken is so good. Oh my gosh, the instructions for the chicken, we did it just like she said it, and it's here in the, hold on, let me get to that page. But that was amazing, and also the cheese that she requested, I had never had. And so I think it was just like, it was a mixture of never having chicken like that and never having cheese like that, and them together, that like, and it was just really messy. And yeah, that was my favorite of the, I'm trying to get to that page again. Yeah, so that's the chicken wrap by Margarita Reg. I can't find it right now, but y'all saw it. And then my favorite of my life, my favorite of me of my life, I feel like people ask me this a lot because of Sammy's, and I used to not have an answer for it. I used to be like, Sammy's is just my favorite food. I just love Sammy's. So it's hard for me to choose. But as of 2019, I feel like, so, okay, this is how I've been answering it since 2019, is that me and Kate were invited to this really dope art fair in Mexico City in 2019 that like, it was like a 5-day fair. It was really intense. We had never done anything like that. Also that we had to speak Spanish so much all the time. Like, I mean, yes, Spanish is my first language, but at this point I speak English 1,000 times better than Spanish. It's just how I went to school, the language I went to school in, the language I speak mostly with Homie House. So like, it was a very draining experience for me, although very fun. And outside of that venue, this huge like international fair, there was this like sandwich cart that they were there every day, and like it was a whole like, I could have had it with meat, but I didn't want any meats, and I got it every single day the same thing. It was their veggie Sammy, and it just was like insane. The cheese, everything was just so fresh, and the peppers were just like insane. I've never tasted peppers like that. And peppers also in sandwich, like I don't feel like I do that. Like that's not usually my go-to. But the way they did it and the way it was all roasted and like that, oh, it was just so, so, so good. And I always think of that sandwich, and I'll probably, who knows if I'll ever eat it again, because it's a cart. Like they're not going to be necessarily in the same place if I ever go back to Mexico City. So yeah, that's my favorite Sammy that I've had in my life.
You know, I bet if we all asked ourselves that question, we could come up with our favorite Sammy. Because I've got one on the back of my head right now too that I can remember I had. So there's another question. How did you decide the aesthetics for the Sammy photo shoot?
Oh, so right. We knew that we wanted it to look like a dissection, like deconstructed. So we knew that we wanted that. And that had been something that we had been thinking about. Right. We had been doing interviews for a year. So like it's something we had been thinking about. And we were like, this makes sense. If we're talking about people's identities and if we're talking about how things connect once you spend a little more time and you like take a moment to like have these tender moments, like, yeah, we wanted it deconstructed. And then as for the backgrounds, that was something that kept changing. Like at the beginning of the shoot, we were doing it on what's it called? Like the brown paper bags, like the sandwich bags, you know, like whatever, like the lunch bags that just basic. We were doing it on that, and we were just like, this isn't quite right. It's not whatever. And then we were doing it all on the foil, and I was like, and then because Homie House, pretty much in every book, we try to flex pink as much as we can, and there wasn't enough pink in this book. And so I was like, Kate, what if we like get like some pink tissue paper and put the saran wrap over it, and then like that can be like, because the foil is intense, like it's fun to look at, but also if it's so much, like I feel like you can end up only looking at the foil. And because we're photographers, I feel like we are very aware and very mindful of like your eyes getting tired while you're looking at like this aesthetic of like this really textured and fun thing to look at. So yeah, we kind of, it was that, like we knew we loved the foil, we pieced out on the paper bag, and then we wanted to bring in some pink, and that's just kind of how it played out.
Adriana, thank you so much for spending time with us tonight. I really appreciate it. I am going to share some information for everyone. I just made a quick link on Bitly for everyone who's interested to buy a copy of Sammys right now, bit.ly/Sammys now. You can also find that through
amazing
Linktree /Homie House Press. There's a ton of great stuff to click on. Most of them, I think, segue to the Homie House Press website, where you can also find Sammys. What else? Tomorrow night, for anybody watching that wants to come back, Milo Mendez is going to be talking with us from 7 to 7:30 about their book. I just got nothing but gratitude for you. Thank you so much for sharing everything. And thank you for all that you will do in the future, too.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so glad to spend time with y'all today. This was really sweet. And always a pleasure, really, to talk about books and talk about how we make community around books, honestly. A total joy.
Beautiful. Great way to end tonight. I'll talk to you again soon.
Okay, peace.
Bye.